So I get asked all the time, James, can anyone become a successful entrepreneur? And I used to think the answer was just a simple yes, right? And that's because I've seen it so many times. Any age, race, gender, no matter where you're from, if you're poor, you're rich, whatever it may be, I've seen so many people go from nothing to extremely successful. But the thing that I realized is that there is one trait that if you lack, and if you do not work to fix, achieving any significant level of success becomes impossible. And that trait is resourcefulness. Now, over the past couple of years, I've had the privilege of meeting some very, very successful people. And the thing that I realized is they all share the ability to figure it out. And what I mean by that is any sort of problem that comes their way, any sort of challenge, any sort of thing that needs to be overcome in order for things to move forward within their business or even within their life, they have the ability to figure it out. And that could be as simple as searching something on Google or looking something up on YouTube or doing a simple chat GPT prompt. Information has become so readily available at our fingertips, yet so many people don't leverage that or just don't leverage it enough to the point where they'll get stuck on something and they just lack that mindset of, okay, I'll figure this out. And it's something I never really thought about up until now, but that's always come pretty natural to me. And I think that's because I got into the entrepreneur space at such a young age. At 14, I was trading stocks. At 16, I had signed my first wholesaling deal. And at 17, I started my marketing agency, which then by 18, while I was still in high school, crossed the 10K a month mark. And now I've gotten to a point where at 20, I've literally had 12K days. And throughout my entire journey, one thing that I've always been really good with is getting resourceful. At the age of 14, for instance, I wasn't even old enough to open a brokerage account to trade stocks. At 16, when I started wholesaling, I legally can't even sign a contract. And when I started my agency at 17, I couldn't even open a payment processor. However, I figured it out. I did everything I could, any sort of bit of information, any sort of help on that, whether it was from YouTube, whether it was from courses, whether it was from Google, whatever it is. And nowadays with AI, the ability to access information has never been easy. Yet I've realized some people really lack this skill. A problem comes up and they're just stuck. If they aren't told by someone what specifically to do and how to solve that problem, they just completely shut down and don't get resourceful. And if you're one of these people, and this sounds like you, then I really encourage you one of two things. Number one, consider getting a job. I know nowadays it's over glorified to be an entrepreneur and work for yourself and not have a 9 to 5, but genuinely some people will just do better at a 9 to 5. It has stability. You have a boss, you have managers, people who will tell you what to do when stuff goes wrong. But if that's really not what you want to do and you really want to make it as an entrepreneur, then make sure that next time any sort of problem comes up, ask yourself, number one, have I actually tried to solve this problem? A lot of people just shut down as soon as a problem arises and they don't even try. They'll just make excuses for themselves, say, I don't know how to do this, and just completely give up. For instance, I am a terrible cook. And in the past, back when I lived at home and my mom would say to cook something, I would be like, yeah, I don't know how to cook that, right? Even rice. But the truth is, I didn't even try. Not only did I not look up a recipe, but I wouldn't even go to the cabinet. I wouldn't even take the rice cooker out. I just put no effort in. And keep in mind, in the sense of cooking, it's like, okay, that's one thing. But if you act like that in business, then you are going to get crushed. And the second thing I want you to ask yourself is, can I ChatGPT this or YouTube this? Nowadays with AI, you can give it all the context on your situation, all the specific nuances of your specific problem, and it will be able to pull every single bit of information and data and past experiences from the internet and tailor that to your situation. And I promise you, for 95% of your problems, especially in the beginning stages of entrepreneurship, this will solve everything. And only after those things have been done, I would go out and potentially seek external help from whether that's a mentor, a coach, whatever that may be. But once again, your level of success will directly correlate with your ability to be resourceful, use the resources at your fingertips, which now in the era of AI have never been more readily available. And with that being said, I hope for some of you, I can be one of your resources that you go to help figure things out via this channel, via my videos. So if you felt like that's the case for you, then make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.